it was a long trip. So to be able to go and have these guys go out and execute the plan and the expectation to go and win and find a way to get it done. I was just proud of these guys. Once you get into football, it's just another game. So you kind of, all those nerves went aside and you're just ready to go out and watch these guys play. Been working a long time in camp and through the spring, so being able to go out and compete and watch these guys get after it against somebody else, it was just awesome. So.
Give us you kind of led into it a little bit, but give us a quick recap of that game, some of the things you liked, some of the things maybe you didn't like.
Right away we did a great job of starting fast. Defense came out and they forced a 3-and-out, and then the offense came and was able to capitalize. So I was just pumped that these guys were able to go and find a way to have some energy and some juice. It was a long day that day. I was a little bit worried that we had them on their feet too long. We had a chance to go and visit Arrowhead and wanted to give these guys that experience. But then in the back of my mind, I was like, heck, are we up on our feet too long? But they came out and we started the game fast, and actually everything was going as planned. And then we were able to score on 7 possessions. So that was huge as we were able to go out and execute and put points on the board. Now, they weren't all the points that we wanted. We wanted that to be touchdowns, and we want to score every time that we have the ball. We want it to be 7 points and not 3. But then on the other side of the ball, the defense did a great job of getting off the field. And when you do that, when you're playing hard and you're flying around, it's going to cover up a lot of your mistakes. So any time that you're able to go and make a team go 1 for 15 on 3rd down, good things are going to happen. So we've got to be able to continue that. And then as the game went, you could see we got a little bit fatigued, both mentally and physically. And that was the adversity that hit us, and we've got to be able to do a better job of overcoming that. Yeah, it can happen once, but it shouldn't happen twice. So we've got to bounce back quicker and then be able to go and get back on track and get back into our game plan.
When Scrappy for you, led the team in tackles. Game 1, you guys kind of clicked on all cylinders all game long. Just talk about your guys' performance on the defensive side.
I think that for our defense, we knew what we was capable of, but we had to just go out there and do it. You know what I'm saying? And I think I wasn't surprised because I knew what we was capable of, but I think as a group, some of our guys were surprised of how good we really are. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it was a good experience to see from myself, to know that I knew where we was going. I believed in Coach K since he been here. So I knew what was going on, but I knew that some of my teammates still didn't know what was going on, and because we get put so much on our plate that they don't understand that this is just preparing us for the moment. So once we got in that first drive and that first series happened, it was just like somebody lit off a fire, and it was over from there.
From your side, you guys, like Coach said, you guys started fast. Just talk about the group, the offensive group, just starting fast and kind of overwhelmed them early.
Yeah, I think kind of just tagging off of what Scraps was saying, we came out not surprised, but we were ready, focused, we were dialed in, warm-ups were good, our bodies were feeling good, and we just wanted to jump on them early and enjoy the game and enjoy the process, because fall camp and the week leading up to the game, is all that excitement, all that build-up we finally got to put it into fruition. So having that, it was an amazing feeling.
Questions?
So you go from a tight end last year to, it's like, oh look, he's a wide receiver now.
Yeah.
What all adjustments did you have to make? I know Coach K said you worked really hard to get yourself in shape to be a wide receiver. How different is it?
It's a lot faster out there. So, putting your hand in the dirt, you're dealing with a lot of D linemen, linebackers, more physicality. So you still have to bring that physical side of the game, but you also have to have that balance of finesse and, putting in that work repeatedly. Coach Holmes just having us do things that relate to the game week in, week out, day in, day out. It's easy going into it when you're more prepared that way, and what to do, in a sense that the coaches gave you something, or the coaches gave you the script, and now you're just playing it out.
So you're when you still block, but
yeah,
you're blocking maybe not somebody quite as big.
Yeah, not so big, a little more athletic, so you got to be a little more disciplined with your approach. You got to get off the ball a lot quicker. You got to sit your butt a lot more. You got to kind of box them out like basketball in a sort. But when you're confident enough, Coach Combs, like I said, we do blocking drills every day, and he harps on the little things. And when you harp on the little things, the details, they present themselves on game day, and that's what happened.
Scrappy, you talked a little bit about, kind of how the defense did not surprise you, but the way you guys kind of set the tone for that game. I mean, I know defense likes to get on the field first. It's like, okay, if we win the toss, can we play defense? If we lose the toss, let's go play defense. But is this kind of, going to be a normal thing? You guys think you can do this and
Oh, yeah.
dominate every single week like this?
Most definitely. I think that as a defense, that was like our bare minimum of standard. You know what I'm saying? Like, we came back this week working harder than we probably ever worked. You know what I'm saying? So it was bigger than just setting the tone. It was really just about coming out fast and execute. But now we on to bigger things now, being disciplined, things that's going like the small things that we may have got away with William Jewell. We can't go into this next week doing that. And that's the thing for us. We just trying to just elevate as far as being disciplined, playing even more faster and even more physical, because you can never get enough of that. But we always going to be an aggressive defense because we got a group of aggressive guys, and that's just our DNA. Coach Matthews put into us that we're going to play hard and fast, and if you're going to mess up, you do it at 110 miles per hour. So I think as our defense continues to grow, the standard is just going to keep going higher and higher. But that was just the bare minimum for us. We got to continue to just improve, and that's the plan.
So, Coach, you kind of touched on this earlier. You guys were incredibly successful on third down. Kind of speak to, was that maybe you felt you guys had a scheme that was working, or was it just the personnel, or maybe just how the game went? How did anything happen there?
Well, I think Scrap kind of just hit on it. And we know defensively, fast, hard, and aggressive. If we do those things and people are running and flying to the ball, good things are going to happen. Coach did a good job, though, of mixing it up and being able to call pressure when he needed to, get him on his heels early, and then he was uncomfortable all day. So did a good job of mixing that, being able to drop 8 and then also bring the pressure when he needed to. But these guys just went out and executed. Guys were communicating well and did a good job of doing their job every single rep.
And then talk about the guy you guys got under center. He had a pretty good game through the air. He just had one major mistake. How do you think his performance was?
And I was impressed with Karst. He did a good job. He came out and he kind of showed that he has become multi-dimensional as we look at it, right? He was able to get out of the pocket when he needed to, but he sat back in there and he made some throws with some pressure in his face, went through his progression a couple times and just made some really good choices. So I was impressed where he's at right now and what he was able to go out and do against live action last Thursday.
And then just one last thing, looking ahead to your guys' next game, how's it going to feel, opening up Stoker Stadium, getting back in front of the home crowd, that sort of thing?
Oh, man, we're looking forward to it. We're just now to be able to – we've used this time to make ourselves better. We had this bye week. It's been 100% about us. But we're excited to go out and be able to play in front of our home crowd, get that excitement going, and start this thing off right at home. We have a big advantage when we're here at home, and we got to take advantage of that. So excited to get, a tough team, too. South Dakota Mines is coming in and started hot this season as well. So we're going to have to be ready for them. But right now, this focus has been all about us this week, how we elevate our game every day.
Well, so you kind of just touched on, having the bye week here. How do you as head coach and you guys as players kind of stay focused in that week off and get prepared for, especially getting home?
Well, the guys will laugh. I always tell them it's a simple game. There's only so many things that they can do offensively, so many things that they can do defensively, just like us. The game's not going to change. They're not going to reinvent the game. So we want to do as much as we can, and we try to week in and week out, good versus good. We want that high speed, high tempo. The only way that you can get better is to play the game and play it at full speed. So we've done a good job this week competing within. We've broken up a little bit, been able to do some half line, some perimeter stuff, things that we really thought that we needed to improve on as a full team. But servicing ones, our intensity has been great. this last couple days, and we need to put in another couple good days of work, and we'll be ready to go.
For you guys as players, how do you guys stay focused, maybe outside of the football field?
No, you got it. Go ahead.
So Coach K just kind of harped on it pretty well. Just going good on good, and the competition level we the energy levels are high. We're competing at our highest level, and we're pushing each other beyond our boundaries. So that way, when the game comes, it's just we consider practice a dress rehearsal for the game, and when we get there, it's just natural in a sense. So practicing hard, practicing with high energy, it makes the game come a lot smoother and a lot more natural, in a sense.
I would say for me, for this week, I understand who I'm dealing with Coach K, and as far as I'm always playing for a work day, because it's never no days off when you come here. Until we get that schedule at nighttime, that's when I know I have a day off, or if I'm planning to have a day off. Because every day, if you coming into this facility, we working, we doing something to get better. So it's just another week. We playing like Coach said. Going into this week, it's us versus us. So that's how we come into this every time. You know what I'm saying? So we competing like it's fall camp. We still going hard, and it's just another week for us.
Going in, you finally get on a field and, in a game situation, able to answer a few questions maybe that, how are the guys going to react to this or that, and kind of solidify some things? Because you threw a lot out there.
Yeah, it was awesome to watch, though. We took 60 guys on the trip, and 58 guys played in the game and had a role, and everybody was ready and dialed in and ready to step up to, when their number was called. So being able to have those guys go and execute, but man, you learned a lot. You turned on the film, and right away I was taking notes on the sideline on, hey, we got to fix this. We got to make sure that this alignment's a little bit better. But that's how it is week to week. We got to keep our opponents on their toes, and we got to make sure that we're sound and prepared for anything that they can throw at us. So, no, it was a huge learning experience for us. Coach Matthews got a sideline warning, which I expected that to happen. So, he had that down, and one of the things that the defense did poorly. So coaches and players alike, we all learned a lot from that first game. And you always say your biggest improvement is really week 1 to week 2. It's tough when you're going in with that bye, so that's why we're trying to remain that focused, being 100% about us. Let's get better. And I think these guys now, if it did anything, it opened their eyes to what we could be. If we keep working at the level that we're working, we continue to get better week by week, we're going to be in a good spot at the end of this thing.
You guys as players, last week it was the difference in playing practice and live football. You guys were on the field, you guys were on the sidelines. Whether it was double digits for tackles for loss, 3 receivers catching touchdowns. What kind of surprised you guys when you got out there on the field?
Like I said, I think we surprised. We didn't really. Some guys knew what was going on, for the most part, but I knew that some guys who may have not been with us, or that wasn't with us since the spring, or stuff like that, they didn't really know what was happening. And when both teams got them first drives, I think we knew, okay, we could do something with this. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it was. It was just knowing that we going in the right spot. When you're doing something right, and you like, well, and then you get that sign like, okay, I got to keep going. That's all it was for us.
Because you playing live football.
Yeah, it felt good to be playing live football against, someone else other than another white helmet. Having that competition coming into fall camp, you're ready for that first opponent just to impose your will, play after play after play, just because, it's somebody different. It's somebody coming to trying to stop you from doing your job, and you're just trying to execute as best as possible. So, that game day energy feels a lot different when you're going against a different team.
All right, question of the week. Doesn't have to be football related. What's your favorite road trip, or a road trip that you would like to take? Doesn't have to be football related.
Well, right now I'm not a huge road trip guy, y'all.
Yeah, I don't even want to think
After
about
coming
road
off
trips.
that.
No, I definitely don't want to think about no road trips.
And Scraps, I think his road trip with Scrappy Jr. about the same as mine. When you got 3-year-olds and 1-year-olds, it's tough to go on road trips. So you like to just
Sure.
stay home. You want that stay-home vacation.
That's the best part, staying home.
Coach Arlich told me the other day, he said the best vacation that you need to plan for you and the family is go on a cruise. I don't know, it's a little bit scary being out in that water, but he said that one, everything takes care of itself, so I guess I'll go with the cruise.
Yeah. What you go with, Jake?
Road trip.
Me and Jake both from Southern California, by the way.
The road trip to California is probably my most favorite,
Yeah.
Going through I-70, you see a lot of scenery, and then you go through Utah, you're seeing a lot of the Red Rocks and whatnot, and then you go into California and like, wow, this trip is worth it just because of all the sights you get to see and like just the massive mountains, because California, we got hills that we consider mountains, so it's a lot different coming out from Colorado straight to California. That's probably my most favorite road trip.
Yeah. For me, it depends who's driving, to be honest. For me, I would say if I was driving, I always told myself I want to take the trip to Aspen with my family, get a little cabin or something out there. But if somebody else driving, like I would go with my boy Jake, we'll go back to California together. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, yeah, not too far for me. Probably drive to Denver. That's probably the furthest I'll drive if I'm driving. So, yeah, because I get in the car and I fall straight to sleep. My son's the same way. So, yeah.